More than 2 years ago, the Ocmulgee Mounds officially became a National Historical Park. That is not the same as a national park, though. And as soon as that celebration ended, the push to expand the park's lands further and protect them started moving forward. Tonight, we share how Ocmulgee's future is deeply intertwined with its past.
It's just the kind of the special, sacred nature. You feel it, even though you're not really familiar with the indigenous folks who lived here. You just feel it.
A stroll through the parking lot proves the pull to Ocmulgee is strong. Folks from as far away as Minnesota were here on this spring day. But locals also recognize the importance of having a National Historic Park right here.
If anybody has not been here, they really need to come here because the history is very rich and it's very interesting.
That history dates back thousands of years to a time when the Creek Nation called this place their home.
Truly, you cannot tell the story of Macon without telling the story of the tribes. We were here first.
Tracy Rivas' connection to Ocmulgee is literally in her blood.
That's my aunt. That's my uncle. It's my aunt again. This is my whole community.
Rivas was the first female chief of staff for the Muskogee Creek Nation and a direct descendant of the people whose civilization thrived on the banks of the Ocmulgee.
What we have here, the 17,000 years of history here, is amazing. We study it all over the world. Why not look in our own backyards and look at Macon, Georgia, and look at what we have here?
The Indian Removal Act of 1830 forced the Muskogee Creek out of Georgia and into Oklahoma, a journey known as the Trail of Tears. While the tribe is now based in Oklahoma, this land is still considered the home of the Muskogee Creek Nation.
A lot of indigenous people, when they come back to their homelands and they look and they don't see us, there's almost an anger that comes out of feeling like you've been erased from the landscape. What we're doing here in Macon is reversing that, and we're bringing that imprint back to 3D, back to life. So it's seeing the nation's flag raised in a land that we were never meant to return to.
The flag signifies the partnership created by the Ocmulgee National Park and Preserve Initiative. It's a group led by Macon-Bibb County Commissioner Seth Clark, aimed at securing national park status for Ocmulgee by partnering with its native people.
My hope for the future is that we do get this designation because these lands are special enough and they deserve it. And it will allow this community to work with willing sellers. It will protect everybody's private property rights, their hunting access. It will bring the Muskogee Creek Nation after 200 years to the table as an eye-to-eye co-manager of these cultural sites.
The national park would be the nation's 64th, but the first in Georgia. Both Clark and Rivas feel the timing is right.
What we're asking Congress to do is to give us a chance to build the park that we want to create, that we believe will attract, is worthy of hundreds of thousands of visitors annually.
It will take an act of Congress, and that's never quick. But those most invested in Ocmulgee's history feel optimistic for its future.
Sometimes politics are politics, and we can't always predict everything, but we do believe that we have true bipartisan support on this bill, and that we really, this year of all years, is the year that we can get this over the line.
Bipartisan support for the park is evident among Georgia's representatives. Democrat Sanford Bishop and Republican Austin Scott co-authored the 2019 bill that expanded Ocmulgee to national park status and added 1,500 acres into the park. The bill also allowed up to 3 years for a study on whether to expand the park even further down the Ocmulgee River towards Hawkinsville. That study started more than 2 years ago, in January of 2021. Bishop commented on the process, saying it is long past time that Georgia has a national park to call its own. Scott agreed that preservation is important. He said designating the Ocmulgee Mounds as a national park will help preserve our state's history and have a lasting positive economic and cultural impact in Middle Georgia. Georgia's senators support Ocmulgee's expansion as well. Senator John Ossoff saying local leaders in and around Macon continue to do a great job advocating for expansion of National Park Service land to protect these historic sites. Senator Raphael Warnock said, as a man of faith, I believe we are called to be good stewards of the earth and its resources, and it is because of this conviction I continue to stand in full support of establishing the Ocmulgee National Historic Park as an official national park. Students at Mercer Center for Collaborative Journalism just completed a documentary on the park. You can learn more about its history and native plants and species living on the site. Watch it now on the 13WMAZ Plus app. Download it on your Roku or Amazon Fire TV and start streaming whenever you like.